Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another edition of Soccer As We Like It, the Man United direction, the channel for you and United fans and football lovers all over the world. Right, what we're gonna go right into it now. We're gonna talk about Donny van der Beek, the forgotten man at Old Trafford. The situation is he's a very loved player, but a lot of United fans love Donny van der Beek. They love his attitude, they love his professionalism, they like what he brought. This guy was part of that Ajax team that got to the semi-finals in the 2018, 2019 semi-finals and lost out to Spurs, if my math is correct. But this is the thing. United bought him under Ole. Ole said he's doing well in training, just like he said about as he said about what's his name? The young kid we bought about oh god, the name left my mind. Ahmed. He said Ahmed was burning up in training. He's really great. He's going to be in the team. We never saw Ahmed. Von Van der Beek is doing very well in training. Ole seems to be a serial liar. He tells little tales, little stories, but he was always telling you what you wanted to hear. But that wasn't what was really going on. You know what I mean? This is a guy who would say, we're doing great, everything's fine, everyone is happy. But nah, things were not great. Things were not going fine. Things were absolutely shit show. But that was under Ole. So Van der Beek didn't really get a lot of game time. He played a few, should I say, a few cup competitions, never was able to hold down a regular place, never was able to hold down a regular spot. He was competing with the spot with Bruno Fernandes. He was competing with a spot with. In fact, it was so bad that McFred were preferred to him. McTominay and Fred were preferred to Donny, who was a better, skillful, more aware, tactically aware player than them two. But we all know that we can't blame everything on Ole, but we can blame him if you understand what I'm trying to say. Ole kept saying and telling the fans Van der Beek has a future at United. He's a great player. He's a good attitude. All the things that any manager would say. You see what I mean? All that BS, all that PR crap, saying Ole is Van der Beek is doing a great thing. He's part of the squad. Yeah, right. He barely got a look in. He barely, even when he was fit, he was doing cameo appearances, coming on what a minute to go, 2 minutes to go. I think that was an embarrassment. I think this was a guy who was holding a regular place under Ten Hag at the Ajax team, that great team that got to semi-final of the Champions League. But he can't even get into a Man United team that was not even as good as that team. You see what I mean? It's really ridiculous, right? Let me check something quickly for you guys. I mean, I find it quite absolutely stupid why this guy can't get into the Man United team under Ole. Uh, Ole kept saying, I think Ole didn't know how to use him. I just think Ole didn't know how to use him. Donny van der Beek is a baller. He knows how to play football. He knows how to carry the ball. So when you look at all this from a critical angle, you ask yourself, so why did Donny try to stay and fight for his place? He battled in the midfield. He had Pogba there, he had Bruno there, he had McTominay, he had Fred, he had Matic, he had Mata, and all these people were always being selected ahead of Donny. Did Ole not like Donny? Was there something that Donny did to Ole? Because Ole just couldn't. Donny could just not get into that Ole team. I'm starting from the backdrop. He was so good at Ajax, really good, a good playmaker, an absolute very good playmaker. But coming to United, it's like, I mean, now I'll be depressed if I was Donny because I could not even phantom sitting on the bench in a team that wasn't as good as the previous team I was in. You see what I mean? You leave your club where you were a regular playing good football. You were the maestro there. You were the orchestrator. You were the conductor. Everything went through you. And you come to this new team in another country, in another league, and you can't even make the bench at times. And when you come on, you're coming in 2 minutes to go, 4 minutes to go. I mean, that is depressing. I would be depressed myself, mate, because it really is sad to see a guy of his integrity and caliber being wasted on the bench by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, who doesn't seem to. Ole, don't get me wrong. I'm not an Ole hater. Ole was a good player. A good player. Watch my word. A very good player. But he wasn't a good manager. That's all I'm going to say. He wasn't a good manager. He was a good player. Watch my words I use. While you're watching our video, don't forget to smash a like. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. I really appreciate it. We are close to 3,200, but your subscription will push us closer to that journey. So thank you very much. Excuse me. So as we were saying, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer never rated. It comes down to not rating, not trusting, not believing in the guy. And I find it quite sad, to be honest. I think it's really sad. That's my thing. These glasses are getting so. I don't think he trusted. I don't think he trusted Donny, and it's quite sad. And when he was purchased, right? When Ole was purchasing Donny van der Beek, right? Oh, he's a good addition to the team. You know, he's a good player. He'll be a big impact for us. Really, mate? Really? Big impact? Impact. You can a song can only be a big impact when you give them the opportunity to play. You see what I mean? If you don't get the opportunity to play, so what impact are they making when they're always on the bench or not even in the squad? And there were times Donny was not even injured. He was not even playing, and that is the part that really baffles me a lot. I couldn't phantom that. I couldn't phantom. You're not injured, and you're not even in the squad. But Ole will come onto the press and tell us he's doing well in training. He's killing it up in the training. He's burning it up. He's just like he said about Ahmed. That Ahmed and what's his name? Pileshi were burning up in training. Those guys never got a chance. They never played. They were loaned out every time. And when they won the bench, they barely came on. So what is he talking about? That's the part I don't get. I think he was just talking about cobnobs. Absolute bollocks. But this is my thing. You can only say bollocks for so much. You can only talk so much bollocks for so long because they get figured out. And he got figured out. He got sorted out. And he got sorted out and told to go on your bike, son. And that's where he was out because of the bullshit. Because Donny van der Beek should have been playing that United midfield. I don't give a damn about McTominay and Fred. But Ole was trying to protect his job. So he was just trying to play players who he could trust. But you can only trust players when you give them the opportunity. I'm not in charge of training. He said it is Carrick. So was there a bias against, or was there a bias against Van der Beek? Let's dig into why Van der Beek was never ever was never ever played in an Ole team. Well, I'm just gonna quickly run through you. Those of you who want to know the Premiership scores today: Tottenham 3, no, Chelsea 3, Wolves 0. Oh dear. Man City 4, Southampton 0. Haaland scored again. Bournemouth 2, Leicester City 1. Damn, that's deep. Who else? Newcastle, what? 5, Brentford 1. Damn. Those are the results coming in today for the Saturday's Premier League games. Tomorrow, the Super Sunday, you have Liverpool and Arsenal. That's going to be massive. Let's hope Liverpool could get a result because Arsenal, the way they're running away, I'm not feeling that. I mean, it's still early days. You don't win titles in October. You don't win titles in November. You win titles in the new year, if that. And that has to be where everyone behind you has capitulated and dissolved into the abyss. But going forward, right? My thing here is this: Ole Gunnar Solskjaer signed Donny. Was it his signing? I don't know. But even if it wasn't his signing, if you could see the ability this guy brings to you, why don't you utilize it? But he didn't trust, he didn't believe, he didn't want to know. He just wanted to know McTominay, McFred, Pogba, Matic, Mata, and Bruno. Everyone else, I'm not interested. Okay. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Tomorrow is Man United and Everton away. We've not done well in the last three visits to Everton. Got thumped 4-0. Remember when Ole said that some of these United players going to play for that they're playing their last game? How many of them played their last game? He said a lot of them are going to play their last game on that in that shirt, in the United shirt. He didn't do anything. Ole just all talk, just talk and air bubbles and bollocks. That's all he's good for. But was Ole a Glazer puppet? I think he was. I think he was a Glazer puppet. Let me just send this out quickly. I hope is everyone's having their Saturday afternoon, enjoying your football, enjoying the footy. Mhm. It is what it is. A big game tomorrow. After our performance against Ominaya on Thursday, do United have enough in the tank to play? So I'll tell you what, you guys, right? We are going to play Thursday, Sunday for the next 3 weeks before the World Cup. And the World Cup is 4 weeks, 5 weeks away. I hope you realize it's 5 weeks away and the league is going to be shut down. So I hope we get results from. But I honestly feel, I honestly feel I honestly feel tomorrow United should get a result. There's no excuse not to get a result. Yes, Everton haven't played any games. They'll be fresh. They'll be ready. They're at home. Considering our last couple of visits to Everton, we've been thumped. I mean, the last one under Lampard, we lost 1-0 to a very bad Everton side. We were just a very bad Man United team, and we were rubbish. And I mean rubbish. It's, but I'm hoping and believing we could get a result tomorrow. I mean, the team, I think, is the team that started minus Ronaldo and Casemiro. I think is going to go back to the usual McTominay, Ericsson, and Bruno middle up front. Sancho. Sancho had a stinker. I think it's going to be. I think you should go with Martial, Sancho, and Martial, Radford, and Anthony. That's my thing. I mean, Sancho. I don't know what's going on with Sancho. I really don't know what's going on with Sancho at the moment. I think he's all is. I don't know what to say, mate. I don't know what's going on with that guy. It just seems to be funny, you know. So, yeah. Right. So, what are you predicting for the game tomorrow at Goodison Park? It's not a good place we've been. We've always gotten thrashed for some strange reason. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But you know, you want to believe, you want to be positive, you want to be optimistic, you want to have and support the team and show that you know what we could do this. We can do this. But there's realistic. There's also being realistic as well. You know what I mean? Don't just be we're gonna go win. Yeah, all right, mate. You see what I mean? So it is what it is. Oh, so right. In reference to the Van de Beek situation, I just feel that Ole kind of didn't appreciate or didn't understand how to use a technical player like Donny van der Beek. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. Thank you very much. We're talking about Donny van der Beek and where did he go wrong for Donny? Does he have a future with Ten Hag? We're going to get to what Ten Hag said about him yesterday on the press conference, but want to start the journey from when he signed for United. Was Ole selling us a story and a pipe dream? Because Ole kept saying he's burning up in training, but he said the same thing for Pelistri. He said the same thing for Ahmad. We never saw nothing from those players. He said they're burning up in training, and next thing they're being loaned out left, right, and center all over the damn place. But he keeps saying, "Oh, they have a future." Really, mate? They don't have no future here. Ole, you were just saying crap, absolute crap. Let me read this out. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. Donning is regular football, and I don't think he best go somewhere else. Thank you very much, bro. Don't forget to smash a like on our video and smash a like on if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to our channel. I get it. I'm 100% with you, bro. I believe it. I mean, but the problem is here now is and he didn't make it against Ole, didn't make it against Ragnar, didn't make it Carrick. Okay, let's just throw that in there. Three different managers, it didn't work out. But how is it not working out under Eric Ten Hag, who managed him at Ajax for 2 seasons? Uh, Make me understand that. Has football moved on that quick? Has he digressed that far back? Or Man United and Ajax are completely two different? I make me understand why Ten Hag. I mean, Ten Hag said he was asked. I mean, he did play a big part in the preseason, little bits and bobs. You know what I mean? It was little bits and bobs that are coming out. So he was asked. Van der Beek has. He said they asked what's wrong with Van der Beek. He has a muscle injury, so it takes a couple of weeks. He's now back he's now training on grass. Which when they're training on grass, which means they're not astroturf, which means it is more individual training. He is outside alone doing his workout, still individual, but not returning to team training. Do we have to wait for that moment? He has to be fit. Obviously, that is his disadvantage. He is now, think about it, 2.5 years he's been here. And he's had the preseason, which went quite okay, and the chances will come. Is Eric Ten Hag just being polite? He finished when he came on against Brighton earlier in the season as a sub. He did very well, but you have to be available, and if you're not available, you cannot get a place in the first 11. That's good. I get that. He's trying to say you have to be available to be selected. If you're injured, you can't be planned on with. You can't play. So he's literally saying you have to be in it to win it. You have to play the lottery to win the ticket. If you don't buy the lottery ticket, you can't win the money. So you have to be in it to win it. So he has to be available to be selected to be given a chance to fight for his place. But haven't we seen this kind of routine before? Are we seeing another deja vu? I mean, what do you guys think? Because NMV, right? He ain't a bad player. I know when he was under Ole, there were players he was better on. He was much better than Fred and McTominay. Even Matic on a good day. Okay, Matic is a specialized CDM. But Donny is a one-time pass. It's pass, move, pass, move, pass, move. The Dutch way. But Ole just never rated the guy. When I say when you don't rate someone, you don't give them a chance. Like what Ten Hag is saying is that you have to be available to be selected. Ole, he was available under Ole and yet wasn't selected. So what's the excuse then? What's the excuse under Ragnick? He was available, but still not selected. That's more. That is what baffles me. That is what is baffling me. Why, despite being available, he still wasn't selected. Now that they're more, the funny thing is, right, because this is a squeezed in compressed season, there are more games available. He's injured. Is it just bad luck? Is it just bad luck? Or the guy does a poor sod? I mean, a lot of United fans feel for the guy. Because we feel when you know someone's potential. I'm not talking just watching YouTube clips. I'm talking about watching Ajax when he played in that Ajax midfield team that was managed by Ten Hag. We saw his play. We saw his ability to move past, and score goals. But at United with Ole, I mean, but under Ole, right? A lot of players struggled. Let's be realistic. Let's call it. There are only a certain group of players who benefited from Ole's selections because it was the same core of players who were half of the time always off form, but still got played. Off form, still got played. Off form, still got played. Off form, you make mistakes week in, week out. Oh, you are number one on my team sheet. Um, you cost 3 goals at the defense last week. You scored an own goal. You lost the ball to Leicester City. Uh, you will be starting. That was how Ole ran the ship. But that's not the way. You play people who are on form. Judge players by the form, not what they did last season, the 2 years ago. Okay, there's also the bit of reliability and dependability and loyalty. I get that. But every dog has his day. But if a player has passed his prime, if a player has passed his prime, why is he still being given an opportunity to play every week? We can't. See what I mean? You know who I'm talking about. There's some players who play for United till this day. They're not even supposed to be Man United players, but they still get the benefit of that and be selected. Not till Ten Hag came and said, this dodo don't work here. I'm gonna move that puzzle and put it to this side. I'm gonna move this puzzle and put it to this side. I'm gonna change the whole setup and put this one out. And it kind of worked. It worked about 80-90% till we got we got destroyed, obliterated, terminated, extinguished, and decapitated and decimated by Man City last Sunday by a monster called Eric Haaland. But that was the whole team that just couldn't figure it out in the first 10 minutes. And the funny thing, right? Losing to Man City on counterattacks, a team that is known for possession football. That shows we were not ready, mate. We were not ready for that game against City last week, and we got our spanked. We got our pants pulled down and our bottom spanked. It is what it is. But we move on. We went to Amanaya in Cyprus during the week. We went a goal down because Sancho made a stupid pass to Malaysia, who wasn't ready. We broke away. They scored. United had to make some changes. Despite a lot of chances, it's not scoring. Keeper making saves. Ball hitting the post. Ronaldo not able to find the net. That's a discussion for another day. Okay. So where we are now is this. Radford came on, Marshall came on, and the game, as I say, is all history. We got the 3 points. We move on. Goodbye and good night. Tomorrow, we are playing Super Sunday. We got Everton away. A ground we've not won in the last couple of seasons. We've been struggling. We got spanked there 4-0. And Ole did say there's one game we played, we lost 4-0. A lot of United players who played this game, today's their last match in a United shirt. Man, that guy was just talking nonsense. Most of the players played the following season and were first team players. So what the fuck was he talking about? That's why I say when Ole used to say, I'm not bashing Ole, but sometimes I just think he was just talking a lot of bollocks and hobnobs. Honestly, mate. Honestly, he was talking a lot of hobnobs. When I say hobnobs, things that you ask yourself like, really, mate? Are you for real? Are you sure? But he was just feeding us crap. I mean crap. But what he's forgotten to understand is when he played, fans didn't have so much technology at our disposal to check things, facts, and go and decipher and research stuff for ourselves. Now, everything's on our fingertips. Everything's on a keyboard. Everything's on a click. You see what I mean? So him coming out with that bollocks and that hobnob about this player burning up in training, he's really doing great. You're gonna see. And we are waiting. We're still waiting, and nothing happened. Next thing, all the players on loan. Really? I thought you said we're burning up in training. How come he's loaned that? See what I mean? It's that BS, that crap that he always came out with, and that's why Van der Beek is where he is today. Poor chap. Okay. Right. Give me a second so we could talk about this more. So as we said, as I said earlier, so after the whole Ole debacle, under Ole, he played five. He started 5 times and came on as a sub 14 times. Some of those 14 times, he came on the last 5 minutes. You ask yourself, what the fuck was the point? You know what I mean? So he was making cameo appearances. Just like, in the videos, you don't want to pay the guy a huge amount of money, but just showing, you just see the person, the camera just pans up to him and he just does the peace sign in your video, and but you're not paying him to speak because you can't afford that, but he's just there and he just says the peace. He was just making cameo appearances for Man United under Ole. Okay, we now moved on to Ole was told, on your bike, son. Moving on swiftly. He was shafted out of United. Then comes Ragnick, the club builder. He came in, took United for 6 months. He too did not play Van de Beek as well. Why? He didn't rate him. So, you want to ask yourself, so what manager actually rates Donny Van der Beek? But if you ask any manager now, you're gonna have the same thing. Oh, he's a very talented player. Okay. He's a good professional. Okay. He's a very good midfield worker in the middle of the field. Okay. Are you gonna put him in your team? Crickets. Nothing. Everyone keep quiet. So he was loaned out to Everton, right? He's loaned out to Everton. How was he at Everton? Played a few games, helped them to stop being relegated. He played his part. Few injuries here and there, but he did what he was supposed to do at Everton. So Ole had already messed everything up for him by not selecting him, not believing in him, not even giving him the opportunity to even play, by giving him cameo appearances every 5 minutes to go. Donny comes on because he didn't trust him. He did, but I sometimes think, so right. Some managers don't know how to handle players who are good. You see what I mean? So they're used to the rigid, you know, ball carriers, people who just know how to run sprints and up the field, and they think they're playing. Oh, he knows how to run. No, football's not always about running. Like Pep said, football, the beautiful game, is more played at a walking pace. I mean, pass, 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 pass. Not to be everyone sprinting 100 miles an hour. No, it's not an Olympics race. It's not a relay. It's not a 100-meter dash. It's football, the beautiful game. But Ole never, when you don't believe in something or trust him, you're not gonna give it a chance, are you? He didn't believe in Van der Beek. He didn't trust him. He didn't. I don't think he even rated him, considering this guy came from a team that was miles ahead of Man United in that category. They got to the semi-final of the Champions League. I think we got to the last 16, if I'm correct me right. But he was the man of that team. He was even shortlisted for Ballon d'Or. So how did it go wrong? Is Man United not the right team for him? Can he not adapt into United football? Because Rannick did not select him either. He was always on the bench. And even, you see, like I said, if I read what Ten Hag said again yesterday, he says he has to be fit. Obviously, that is his disadvantage. He is now he is now for what was this 2.5 years here. He had a preseason that was quite okay, and his chances will come. That's what Ten Hag said yesterday in press conference. His chances will come, but you have to be fit to be selected. But what we're saying is, what of the times he was fit and was never selected? That's my issue. That's my issue with this whole crap. He was fit on the bench, never played, never consulted, never brought on. So what was the excuse then? Like my brother Richard had just said, he just needs to leave Manchester United and resurrect his career somewhere else. Because at the time United went for him, Real Madrid wanted him. So it it baffles me, and it baffles a lot of United fans as well. How he can't even get into the Ten Hag team. But Ten Hag is saying you have to be fit, you have to be available. He finished by saying when he came on against Brighton earlier this season as a sub, he did very well. But you have to be available. And if you're not available, you cannot get a place in the first 11. And now he has to make sure he gets fit to fight for his position. That was what Ten Hag said yesterday. That was what Ten Hag said yesterday in the press conference against Everton. He has to be fit to fight for his position in the first 11. So people ask, if you're not playing, I played football a lot of times. When you're not playing, people ask, you didn't even play, but you're injured. Yes, it does happen. Sometimes you get injured in training, and that screws up your whole dynamics because you're looking forward to playing match day, weekend. You're playing, looking forward, and on the Thursday night, you start to feel a twinge in your muscle. You have a muscle cramp. You have a muscle thigh injury. You have your Achilles is injured. You pull a hamstring. It happens. It always happens. But that's the the other side of football. If you might, I mean, is would you describe him? Would you guys describe a Ten Hag as no Ten Hag? Would you guys describe Van der Beek as an injury prone player? I don't think he's injury prone. I don't think he's injury prone. I think Van der Beek has a bit of what you call not lucky, a bit unlucky. You see what I mean? That's what I believe. But in the same thing, it still doesn't justify the way he's been treated at Manchester United. From Ole to Ragnick to Carrick to Eric Ten Hag. I think Eric Ten Hag is literally the last hope. You know whereby you know whereby you come into a new company, right? Oh, you're in a company. You've been doing well. You've been in the company for a few years, 2, 3 years. Your manager, a new manager comes. You used to be the top salesman in that company. All right, maybe not so. All right, you used to be a top salesman in another company. You came into this new company, but the manager, your direct manager, like never sends you out to go and get the big clients, even though you got the experience. And they see your CV, your resume, how good you are. Then that manager who doesn't rate you gets fired. So you're thinking, okay, the new manager I'm going to show. You do your bit, you do the projects, you're on top of your game. You're still not being sent out to get those big clients. You're like, so even as a human being, you will start to doubt yourself. We're all human beings, we're not robots, right? If you know your abilities, right, and you are not being given the opportunity to show your abilities, and you're constantly being put to one side, obviously it does play it plays a fact on your mental, mate. Easily, easily. No matter the toughest, mentally advanced people think, doubts will always creep in. No matter how confident you're, that because rejection is not an easy thing to swallow. I'll tell you that it's not. So, continuing in my scenario I'm using, first manager left, didn't see you as the top salesperson, even though you were the top salesperson in your previous club company. Second manager comes, you think, all right, new beginning, new start, still not being made the top. All right, go and check out some of these clients here, go and see if you could sell our products to those clients. But the top clients who need the white glove specialized training skill sets to go and get those clients, they're not sending you there. They're sending someone else. So you're thinking, what the hell? So that manager, so you're gone from one. Your second manager now says, you know what? Just keep doing what you're doing. You'll be okay. I'll let you know. He gets moved on. Then you bring another manager in. But the funny thing, this manager knew you and this manager used to work in the same company before. So you're thinking in your mind, ah, at least I've got a break. This manager knows my skills. He knows how good I'm in. He could send me to go and get the top clients, the top sales. I'll be the man for him. He knows me. He's trained with me. And the first, you go on your first sales camp, which is going to be equivalent of a preseason. You go there and you're doing your little bits. So he's looking at you and you're like, "Yeah, boss, how are you? Remember when we used to put it together? Remember when we were the top salespeople? Yeah." Then when you're back in the office, the top clients, they're saying we need the company said we need to send a top salesperson to go and get those top clients. And you're thinking, oh, I'm the man for the job because this manager, he knows how good I am. You're not selected, mate. Just to tell you to go get the other sales, the local sales, not the international sales, you know. And you're thinking, motherfuckers, bloody bollocks. How the hell is that possible? This is where Van der Beek has been. Ole, Randy, and now Ten Hag. Is Ten Hag the last stop? Is that the last stop? As in, this is it? Is this it? If he can't get into Eric Ten Hag's team, I think he's done. I don't want it to be, but I think he's done. We can't keep saying it's bad luck. Oh, um, is he better than this player? But if you don't have the opportunity to show how good you are, how are you ever gonna be? How are you ever gonna show your skill set when you don't get the chance? And I repeat this again: if you're not available, you cannot get a place in the first 11. And so now he has to make sure he gets fit and fights for his position. This is from Ten Hag. No favoritism. He played in Ajax. Knows him. So what's the problem this time? Like Richard said, maybe it's the time the guy puts in the transfer says, I need to go. But also, is Man United a club that just destroys players' careers? Because if you look at it, right, thank you for joining us. If you're watching us for the first time, don't forget to smash a like on the video, and tell us what you think about this Donny van de Beek malarkey. This situation we're stuck in now. Does he have a future at Man United? Despite being under a new manager who he used to play for, they both got to the Champions League finals to semi-finals with Ajax, the Dutch team. But now in Man United, where he's been for 2.5 years, I don't think this guy's going to play 30 full games. No, he has not. So would he go down? I'm going to ask. Is Donny a flop? Is he a flop? Would he be counted as one of those United players? Would he be counted in that category of players like Di Maria, Alexander Sanchez, Falcao, the Memphis Depay, Dan Brown? We did a video of United's biggest flops. You could go back a few weeks back now and look for that video of Man United's biggest flops. Does he fit into this category? Is Donny van de Beek a flop? Has he been a flop? Is he a flop? Or is it the system and the club and the managers who are fucking him about? What do you think? Because it irks me when I see a good player not being played and not given the opportunity. I mean, we also Alexis Sanchez, the piano player. 47 games this guy played. Donny ain't even that guy started 47 games and scored 5 goals. Donny ain't even got on opportunity to start 25 games, let alone. Now that's who was voted king of the flops, Sanchez. Now he was a flop. So Memphis Depay, fellow Dutchman, Louis van Gaal did not rate him. Mourinho did say about Depay, he said, sometimes some young players are not able to adjust for such a big club of magnitude and gravity of this size. So they tend to crumble. The pressure, the demand. So they need to go back to come forward. So when he went to Lyon, he was the man. He was the man at Lyon, Depay. That's why he was bought by Barca. Depay ain't a bad player. He's a very good player. He's a very good player. But at the time he came to United, it wasn't the right time. Di Maria, very good player. No, he had issues. Di Maria is a very skillful player. At Madrid, he was the man. He was the creator, putting balls in. But when he came to United, I don't think he liked Man United. Then on top of all that, I mean, he scored he scored like 5 goals and 10 assists, but it didn't work out. Then he started verbally abusing the club. He went on training, said, I'm not returning there. I will not returning back to that club. He stood his ground and said, I ain't returning. So he had to be sold. I mean, Man United were on tour in USA at the time, and he said he's not coming back. Goodbye. He told Man United to fuck off. But that was then. But he was a flop. So would we say Donny van de Beek is a flop? If he is a flop, why is he flopping at United? Why didn't he flop at Ajax? Different system, different club, different league, different structure. We get it. But when we look at it, don't forget, thank you for joining us. Don't forget to smash a like on our video. Thank you so much. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Thank you so much. But what we're talking about Donny van de Beek now, should he leave Man United at the end of the season? Does he have a plan? Do they have any plan for Man United? Do Man United have any plan for Donny? Can he make it in a Ten Hag team? Ten Hag has played with him in Ajax. But why is he not being given an opportunity to play now? Yes, he's injured now, currently. But when he returns, can he fight for his position? Because sometimes, right, we're humans. Like I said, we're all humans. We fight. We try to fight. We try to be positive. We try to be optimistic. We listen to positive affirmatives. We listen to speeches from motivational people, speakers to raise your spirits up, right? But there's sometimes You hear that inner voice in you that tells you, just call it a quit and move on. Then there's another voice on the second side that says, you know how good you are. Don't give up. Keep fighting. So what do you listen to? You're a human being, right? We live in a very competitive football era now, whereby football is very competitive. Football business is big money. People don't have the time to give you 4 years to settle in. No. If they don't see you selling the next 6 games, the fans will already be on your case, especially on social media these days. See what I mean? Luckily, players like, I mean, Sanchez was a flop. I'm not trying to compare them, but Sanchez was a flop. But he still got 47 games on his belt. He still got regular football. He still got played. They're not even playing Van der Beek. He's not even getting game time. That's my beef I have with this club. He's not even getting game time at all. That's the baffling thing. No, he's not even playing. But he's injured. Okay, unlucky. Is he just unlucky? Is he just unlucky? Or is this a case of he's not good enough for Man United? But if you look at the previous teams, okay, United's midfield under Ole was McFred, Combo, and Bruno. That was it. You had two people playing the position of one person, babysitting a back four who barely knew the left from the right. You had Luke, Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, and Ari at the back. I had a babysitting crew sitting right in front of him who don't do anything. So Bruno probably literally had to go back and forth to get the balls. Is what it is. So how did Van der Beek not get into that team? Still a very baffling question. That team won the great. That team wasn't a good team either, but they just grounded our results. That team was overworked because the players were overplayed, off form, injured. You are playing because that guy wants to save his job. Was that the beginning of the end for Ole? No, not for Ole, for Van der Beek. Ragnick came, stayed 6 months. They didn't do much. They didn't play much under Ragnick. I don't think he even played under Carrick. Did he play under Carrick? I don't know. Carrick played 4 matches for Man United, didn't won 3 and drew 1. You got perfect record there, right? But you also got to look at it. Now that Eric Ten Hag is now here as United manager, why is Van der Beek? He had a good preseason. Ten Hag said he came on against Brighton, did well, did okay. Brighton was our first home game. We got beaten. Then we got beaten by Brentford. That was a thrashing. Then we moved on. We beat Leicester. We beat Southampton. Who else did we beat? We beat Liverpool. We beat Arsenal. We got thumped by Man City. But he hasn't featured. He's injured now. He's currently injured at the moment. Currently injured at the moment. But like Ten Hag said, you have to be available. And if you're not available, you cannot get a place in the first 11. And now he has to make sure he gets fit and fight for his position. Ten Hag, no way about mic drop. Ten Hag just said it yesterday on his press conference. That's all he says. Donny, get fit, fight for a position, and we take it from there. I cannot answer. It kind of like pushing the ball back to Donny because the press are asking, you managed him. Why is he not getting a starting in your team? You played with him, you managed him, you played the Ajax together, you went to the semi-finals together. Why is he not being part of your plans? And Ten Hag pushed it right back and let me start it from the beginning. Donny van der Beek has a muscle injury, so it takes a couple of weeks. He's now back in training. He's now back training on grass. They train on grass initially, but they're normally trying to AstroTurf. So he's outside doing work, but he's still individually, he is not returned to the team training yet. So we have to wait for him. Right? He has to be fit. Obviously, he has that's his disadvantage. He is now 2.5 years here and has had a preseason, but was quite okay. And his chances will come. They wrote it the way he was speaking it, so some of the English might come out a bit bent and twisted. So I mean, so it's not me who doesn't know what I'm talking about. I'm not reading. Don't think I'm not cuckoo upstairs on poker. Just saying. Just joking. But also, he finished by saying, when he came on against Brighton, which was our first game of the season that we lost at home, right? Earlier this season, as a sub, he did very well, but you have to be available. And if you're not available, you cannot get a place in the first 11. And now he has to make sure he gets fit to fight for his position. All said in a nutshell, he has to be fit to be selected. Can Donny get into this team that has Ericsson, Bruno, Casemiro, McTominay, and Fred? There's no Pogba. We literally don't have ball carriers per se, like Pogba used to be. Can Donny get into that team? This current United team. So, where would you rank Donny? Bruno, Ericsson, McTominay, Casemiro, Fred. Where does Donny fit in there? If he can fit in there. I want to be optimistic for him, but like Richard said, if you want to resurrect your career, he's still young. He's about 24, 25, or 25. I think 25. If you want to resurrect your career, is United the place to do it? Is United the place to do it? Is United becoming a club that buries, destroys, ends your career? In terms of you were that good, you come there, you just become a dodo. Is this where we are? Is this a club that cannot bring the best out of players? Is it the managers who don't know what to do with a player? Or is it the manager that can't? So many questions. Or is it the manager that cannot conform to? Or is it the player who can't conform to a system that the manager has set out? So many questions. Can Donny get into Ten Hag team? Does Ten Hag rate him? Can he work? Can he play into United team? Can he displace McTominay, Fred, Casemiro, Bruno, Ericsson? Can he displace them? That's the big question. Donny, like Ten Hag said, it's down to you. You get yourself fit, then you can fight for your position. If you're not fit, you can't fight. But we United fans say when he was fit and he was kept fighting and sparring and throwing uppercuts and headshots and giving, wrestling, giving him the rock bottoms and the people's elbow, he still wasn't selected. See what I mean? So that's my concern. That's my worry that he was available. He wasn't injured. So we're wiping the slate clean. Start afresh. New manager. New opportunities. New beginnings for everybody. Preseason, played well. Got injured. And that injury, that could be a bloody bummer. It just comes at a time whereby United can rotate players. He could have even started against Omanaya. We got Omanaya this Thursday, but he's not fit. He's not available. See, this is what we're saying. It's just sometimes bad luck. Footballers don't get it easy. Yeah, people. We only see the money side. Oh, he's driving a nice Lamborghini. He's flashing. Got a nice house. But when all the cameras are away from them, and they have to be in the gym trying to rehab, then by themselves, I could just imagine what Phil Jones goes through every season. You're in the rehab. Every season, you're in rehab, repairing a nail, coming back from this injury, from that injury, never playing. It must be hard on the mental. It can't be easy. It cannot be easy. Phil Jones has been in United since 2011. That's 11 years, mate. He's got a league title. Probably not Ferguson's winning team. He's got league titles, he's got an FA Cup, he's got a League Cup, he's got Europa League Cup. He's got a full set of medals. But he hasn't played in nearly 3 years, mate. No, hasn't played in nearly 3 years. And that's a lot. That's a long way back. See what I mean? So as for Donny, all I could say for Donny is this. Whew. It's even hard for me to put into words, mate. Get fit, work hard. There was even a time they said, "Oh, he's put on some muscle mass. He's now bigger." Now, is it the English pace is too fast for him? I mean, the Dutch pace was slower. Dutch football. Um, the Premier League is more running. Is Donny used to it? I would have thought he's adjusted to it by now in 2.5 years. But the 2.5 years, he hasn't played much football though. He's been more bench warming and how would I call it? Squad playing, cameo appearances. Ole bringing in 5 minutes to go, 2 minutes to go. There was one FA Cup game, he brought in 4 minutes to go. I thought, nah, that's not taking the fucking piss, mate. Nah, that's the piss take. 5 minutes to go, really? But it is what it is. Yeah, the manager's first thing is to win, right? Right? But what we fans are saying is everyone being given a fair chance? Has everyone been given a fair chance? If he's been given a fair chance, then that's understandable. When you get your chance, and sometimes when he does get his chance, it's apprehensive because he's rusty. Training and playing are literally two different things, mate. When you're playing regular team football every week, you're always playing, you're always playing, you're always playing. That's different. But when you are not playing, you're always training, and you come in for 5 minutes, 5 minutes. Next week, 3 minutes. Next week, 3 minutes. It's completely different. Training and playing are completely two different things. Donny would train hard, then on Saturday on the bench. Then he'll come in and play 3 minutes. He'll train hard, come in 2 minutes. Train hard, not even bothered. Not even started. Oh, not even in the squad for that week. So I mean, it does play with your mental. So when the opportunity does come, you're rusty. So when Donny does play, he appears a bit rusty because he hasn't been playing consistently with the players. But my question to you, as United fans, does he have a future at Manchester United under Ten Hag, who managed him in his previous club at Ajax? They played together. I mean, he was manager player. They got Ajax to the semi-final of the Champions League and lost to Spurs. Do they have? Does he have a future at United? Should he leave? Should he put in a transfer in summer? Because he's not playing. Did I need to check. Did Holland, Netherlands, did they make the World Cup? I think they did this time. I'm not sure. I need to check. Does Donny have a chance in this team? Can he displace Bruno? Can he displace Ericsson? Can he displace Casemiro, McTominay, Fred? Even Fred is not even getting into this team. So if Fred is not getting to the team, What chance does Donny stand? See what I mean? This is what I'm talking about. If you're watching our video, don't forget to smash a like. Thank you very much. And don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new, watch us for the first time. We really appreciate your time as a football fan, as a United fan, and us and anything if you just love football. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Subscribe on our journey to 3,200 subscribers. If you could just help us by subscribing to our channel, that would be absolutely great news for us. We will talk about Donny van de Beek. We summarized it by Ole didn't do much for him. Ole just kept promising and blowing air bubbles and saying, yeah, he's burning up in training. But yeah, that was it. He never got any chance to play. He got with Ranić. Ranić didn't do much for him either. He was fit. He was available. Didn't get selected. Owens also made cameo appearances. Under Ten Hag, his previous manager at Ajax, who knew him, he started for Ten Hag. 2.5 years at United, hasn't done much. But Ten Hag said, I'm going to leave you his famous words. When he came on against Brighton earlier this season as a sub, he did very well, but you have to be available. And if you're not available, you cannot get a place in the first 11. And he has to make sure he gets fit to fight for his position. That was what Ten Hag said in the press conference yesterday. I'm Tim Ross, your host, Soccer As We Like It, the MANUTD direction, the channel for United fans. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Please subscribe to our channel to help us get to our 3,200 target, and we can move on from there. But it's all down to you for subscribing to our channel and helping us grow. Thank you very much. I'll see you guys in the next one. From us, it's goodbye and good night. Donny van de Beek, does he have a future at United?